8 came to London for the PokerStars.com Shark Cage final table, all aiming to take down the $1 million first prize. But as soon as the feeding frenzy started, the Sharks showed no mercy when it came to chewing up the competition. First out was online qualifier Gareth Coles. An early mistake meant he barely had time to finish his point before heading for the exit.
Jack on the river.
Ace of spades.
The worst move I've made in a long time.
Next to get gobbled up was German high roller Phil Gruesome.
I guess I'm dead, right?
Taken down by fellow countryman Ola Schemion.
I'm not happy how I played the hand.
Third to go, the businessman Bill Perkins.
Oh,
He became Griffin Benger's second catch of the day.
It's the way the cookie crumbles. You guys just have to move on.
So, we're now 5-handed and a little bit closer to the $1 million winner-takes-all prize. We started this competition with 48 players, and now we're down to just 5. But it could soon be 4.
James, talk to me. Status report. Where are we at?
Mike Tindall's tournament life is on the line. Decision is on Kara Scott.
That's right. Kara raised with King Jack. Mike moved all in with Ace Jack, and it's Domination Nation.
But Kara doesn't know that. Now, clearly, this is a huge decision for her.
So huge that she used one of her time bank chips, and that time is almost up.
So what's she gonna do? Will she call or will she fold?
I need to know.
20 seconds on the clock.
First, I thought Kara was priced in and had to call. Then I realized I can see the whole card. Said, no, don't do it, Kara, no!
10 seconds.
Oh, this is probably so terrible. Call.
She calls.
It's terrible, right? It's terrible. Oh. Oh, you sweet thing. You're doing that for your luck, not mine.
Well, is it bad that all my thoughts are negative right now, that it's going to be a king?
You shouldn't even say that out
No,
loud.
it's nice. It's a jack all the way.
5 blanks work too.
Mike roughly a 70% favorite to double up here. Ace Jack still ahead after the flop.
Ah, poor Kara.
She can still hit a king to eliminate Mike and win the pot. Well, she's gonna need to hit on the river.
I think Kara's anti-violence, but she's probably making an exception to kick herself.
10 of diamonds, and Mike's going to double up. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. That one's me. No one's still in it.
So with Mike doubling up, we're still 5-handed at the final table. Here's a reminder of where we stand. Out in front with nearly 4 million chips is Canadian online specialist Griffin Benger.
Now that I have the chip lead, I think normally I would really go pedal to the metal, but because it's winner takes all, people aren't gonna let me run it over. The shorter handed it gets, the more money we play for. It's gonna be tough to shake them off the game.
Just behind him, with around 3.1 million, is poker wunderkind Ola Schemion.
Griffin is obviously the biggest threat because he has the biggest stack and he's one of the best players. You always give your best. With the power of will, you can achieve a lot of things.
Following his double up, rugby legend Mike Tindall is in third with around 1 million chips.
I'm really happy to still be here. You know, I've been through a couple of tough spots. Ole's been a sort of bit of a thorn in my side. I've got to try and flip that around. My mentality at the moment is I'm still as far away as when there was 8 there. It's still a long way to go yet.
In fourth is hometown hero Victoria Coren Mitchell. She has just under 500,000.
I don't feel like I'm completely on form today. I feel like the deck is not really with me. I'm missing things. I haven't totally got my eye in. The momentum certainly seems to be with Ole and Griffin right now. They've got huge chips and, you know, they're hitting cards and they're playing their stacks well, but they can still change.
And the short stack is Canada's Kara Scott with 435,000.
I made a bad call. It's not great. I'm not in a fantastic situation in terms of chips, but I am very happy to be sitting there. I might not have all the chips right now, but if I do at the end, then I get $1 million. And you gotta keep your eye on the prize.
Kara's pretty upbeat, not sure I would be.
Yeah, she has around 9 big blinds. Now we're playing 25,000, 50,000 with a 15,000 ante. The action folded around to Mike. He's out. Kara all in with 8-7 suited.
How to do it.
Good luck.
And Vicky calls with ace-9.
Kara's up against an ace, but it could be a lot worse. Could be ace-8 or ace-7. Or ace-9 of clubs. All worse scenarios. 40% of the time, she's going to win this.
She flops decently. 13 outs.
47% of the time, she's going to win this. That's the same number of Ronin there are in my favorite movie with a number and the word Ronin in the title.
And she gets there on the turn with a straight.
Nice hand.
I know I was talking a bunch about what a good shot Kara had to win this hand, but I still wasn't expecting that.
Wow, poker's really easy when that happens, you know.
Nice hand.
Yeah.
And Vicky is left with just a chip and a chair.
No, now Vicky, why does someone have to lose? I just can't handle it. This is why I don't like giving them names.
Vicky's been left with 1.5 big blinds, and on this next hand, she has to post the ante of 15,000 and the small blind of 25,000. Schemion's first to speak. He's got king deuce suited. And he limps.
Interesting.
Well, remember, Vicky can only call all in, and that's what she does.
Good luck, all-in player.
And Griffin checks his option.
Not looking good for her.
I haven't looked, so I don't know what I'm funking for.
A 6 or a 3, and there is a 3.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, she dips beneath the lasers.
Seems like my kind of flop.
There could be action on the side. Ola bets his pair of deuces. Griffin folds.
Okay, show me what I got to beat.
I got a pair.
Okay, let me see it.
You're alive.
And shows king deuce for a pair
Okay,
of twos,
all right.
king deuce of clubs.
Oh, give it to me. Come on.
Three of clubs
And
for
a
pair of
6.
threes, and a 6.
Said it was your flop. How is that 9 on a club?
It's the best situation I've been in all game.
But will the 3 hold?
She just has to fade a king or a deuce on the river to more than triple up. Vicky survives.
Still alive for the million.
Nice hand.
Thank you very much.
Vicky just won back half what she lost to Kara, and she got to make eye contact with all of Schemion. Win-win.
Vicky's still short.
180.
All in with king queen.
And it starts all over again.
Griffin with queen jack.
Potential great spot for her.
Subliminal advertising.
Griffin calls.
How can you not raise? What is this?
I'm not going to waste my money on
It's not money, Mike. It's chips.
Oh, I'm in good shape. I'm in good shape.
You are?
Yeah.
Vicky is a 72% favorite to double up through the chip leader.
You're not gonna need those value cards. Oh, I'll allow it.
Remember, she's at risk here. If Griffin gets lucky, she's out.
Griffin catching a case of the feels.
He's looking for a jack.
Here's Johnny.
Nope.
Nice try.
What have you got now? 2 cards? I can't believe you would actually funk for your card in this spot. I've got like 3 chips.
I was just making another movie reference, so they'd have to blur this hand out again.
You can't handle the truth.
2 cards for Vicky to avoid on the river. She pairs her queen. She survives again.
To the delight of Vicky's pet giraffe, Matthew Herminiano, the qualifier from her heat. Everybody be Dublin.
The saying about all you need is a chip and a chair, it's really true. You know, I have won tournaments coming back from a very long way down. When I won the EPT San Remo, I was the short stack from 16 players all the way into 3. I mean, 16, 15, 14, that every time I was the short stack until there were 3 of us, and then suddenly I was the big stack. So it doesn't really rattle me. I never have that much emotionally invested. Like anybody, if I get it in with the best hand and lose, I'm annoyed. And like anybody, if I win a tournament, I'm very proud. But you meet with triumph and disaster, you treat them just the same. Oh, thank you very much.
Can Vicky's comeback continue all the way to the $1 million first prize? Tag your tweets, Shark Cage.
1 1.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com Shark Cage, where the two big stacks are bossing the final table.
I know how important momentum is in tournament poker, especially in a tournament where you have to acquire every single chip on the table to even make a cent.
Between them, Griffin Benger and Schemion hold over 3/4 of the chips.
Being 5 left with a good stack doesn't affect me too much. I just wait until something good happens.
Our 3 short stacks need to make moves quickly to stay in the hunt for the $1 million first prize.
It's $1 million for first, and second gets nothing.
Right now, Griffin is the chip leader, and Vicky's still the player at immediate risk.
Raise.
Schemion with King 10 makes it 100,000.
Of course he's raising.
Mike Tindall with Ace 3 suited re-raises.
Mike should probably just be shoving. As a professional poker player, he should know that.
He's not a professional.
Oh, that explains why I never saw him before the show.
Action back on Ola.
He definitely can't fold for 100K more. It's 1 chip.
He calls.
And that's why Mike needed to shove.
Top pair for Mike. A straight draw for Ola.
Great flop for Mike. It's a board Ola can't really fold on.
Mike continues for just 75,000.
I wonder if Ola just calls here, decides to put Mike to the test for all of his chips.
Ola's clock is running. He calls. The turn card is a 5, changes nothing. Ola checks a second time. Mike bets a second time, 100,000.
Such a small bet. Ola can't fold. Mike's playing this kind of hilariously, but if the board bricks out, it's going to work out beautifully for him.
Ola calls. We're going to the river, and the shark cage is in play. The board does brick out for Ola. Will he bluff it?
What a run out.
No, he checks. Will Mike go for value?
Now he moves all in.
Max value, 510,000. All you can eat.
This is amazing. Ola can't call.
And this is a shove for value, obviously.
Raise.
All in to Ola. Go pass.
What does it say?
Mike Tindall just outswagged Ola Schemion.
Finally, I've actually won one against you. I've never beat you.
No one does.
You were just giving me that, weren't you?
Just 2 pair, huh?
Just generous on the word. Sorry.
2 pair. You wish it was 2 pair.
Thank you very kindly.
What's fishing?
Well, it's always nice
No
to
bite.
go.
No bite.
It's always nice to go fish, though, isn't it? But then
Give a man a fish he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, and everyone at the table hates him when he sucks out on you.
So we're still 5-handed and still no cage action. Ola posts his big blind. Mike's first to speak. 8-10 offsuit. He folds. Kara all in with pocket 3s, and Vicky calls all in with 7s. Round to Ola. He's out.
I've got a pair.
Kara's all, I hope it's deuces. It's not.
Kara, a 4-1 underdog, but Vicky's the player at risk. 7's holding on the flop.
Like someone who just ordered 11 shots of tequila for a table at the back of the bar, Kara is looking for a tray.
She picks up no additional outs on the turn. Just a 2-outer for Kara. No dice.
Ace of spades, and Vicky's gonna double up.
Someone celebrated for you out there.
Vicky doubles up again.
We just keep throwing our piddling amounts back and forth across the table.
Now you're back.
Yep. Back again.
You guys, Kara is right there.
And she's now the shortest stack at the table. Ace-7 suited for Griffin, he raises. Ola folds. As does Mike. Kara all in with ace-8. 330,000 total. Griffin calls.
Really good shot. Kara's about to be back in this too.
She has Griffin dominated. But there's a 7 on the flop.
Really good shot. Kara's about to be back in her hotel room, too.
There are only 2 cards that can save her. She needs an 8 on the river to survive. She's out. We lose Kara in 5th place.
Oh, well. It was lovely to play with you. Oh, it was really nice playing with you. Good luck.
Good game, Kara. Unlucky.
Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Great to play with you.
Griffin Benger's taking out 3.
It was frustrating. That's the truth. It was really frustrating. Maybe I should have taken a little more time with some decisions. I hope that Vicky continues to double up to the point where she takes this down. I would love to see her win this. Team Vicky.
I'm okay with that, and I know my boy in the cow suit's okay with that, too.
I have pretty much exactly the chips I came in with this morning. On the plus side, I now only have 3 people to beat. On the minus side, they've all got more chips. It feels like a long day.
It's been a long day for all of us. Cocktails.
King Queen for Ola.
Race.
There's a shock. He makes it 100,000.
No, man, I like Ola Schemion, and he's got swag like you read about, but I kind of hope Mike Tindall bosses the bejesus out of this kid again.
Mike with 8-7 offsuit. And he calls the raise.
Is it bad that I want him to boss Ola? That's not bad, is it?
Perfectly acceptable. Great flop for Mike. A pair and a straight draw.
I don't want to say Mike Tindall's a boss, but he's wondering if you got his memo about those TPS reports.
Ola has checked. No continuation bet. Mike checks behind. 3 on the turn. Mike's still ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna induce a bluff now, okay?
Delayed continuation bet.
Let's see, are you going fishing again, eh?
Ola does have a gut shot.
Make it expensive to go fishing. 300.
And Mike raises.
I don't want to say Mike Tindall's a boss, but he just took away Milton's stapler. Okay, so maybe he's gonna lose value by raising, but whatever.
"15 seconds left on Ola's shot clock. 10. Looks like he's going for a time bank chip. That extends his clock by 30 seconds.
Ola Schemion just had to use a time bank chip against a guy whose job it is to run with a ball. To be fair, he has to run really fast with it, Ola. Really fast.
Once again, Ola finds himself in a position where time's running out. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Time is up. Ola's hand is dead.
I don't want to say Mike Tindall's a boss, so we're just going to call Ola Schemion Peter Gibbons.
Blinds 30,000, 60,000 with a 2,000 ante, and we are going in the tank with Ola. We will play this next hand from his perspective. His whole cards, a king 7 offsuit.
Have you actually looked, or is that... You have looked, have you, or not?
No.
No?
Some call it raising in the dark. I call it raising in the swag.
No, I already got 25,000. Cool.
Mike makes the call.
Does he?
Oh, please, not Mike Tindall. Vicky, just jam so we can fold.
Well, I guess I fold.
She passes.
Can we just fold now? Mike Tindall has been out swagging us, and swag levels are currently at an all-time low. They're like under 95%.
The flop is 10-9 deuce. Ola has completely missed. Mike checks.
Fold. We fold. I know it's free to check. Just fold.
Ola checks. Ooh, an 8 on the turn. Now, Ola has an up and down straight draw.
Great. Now Mike can bet. We have to call. We break the river. Mike makes us lick white dog poo.
Oh, really? Mike bets 125,000.
Well, we have to call.
He does call. We go to the river where there is the prospect of the shark cage. It's a deuce pairing the board.
Great.
I've only got 2 now.
Mike selecting a card. Implying he's betting.
So I'll just do that and see what happens. Wrong one.
We don't know if this is a value bet or a bluff.
250.
If Ola's even thinking about this, he has played way too much on the EPT. This is never a bluff.
He folds. Mike shows value. He had ace-10 for top pair, top kicker.
When I was really small stacked, I sat there and I said to myself, stop being a pussy, stop protecting your chips. If you go out, you go out. It doesn't make any difference. So then I was like, right, I'm not going to sort of sit back. I'm going to be more aggressive. Make it expensive to go fishing.
He said to me he's never winning pots, and then he finally won one.
Finally, I've actually won one against you. I've never beat you.
He was very happy about it.
You were just giving me that, weren't you? I'm playing some great players, and I'm not at their level, so I have to try and make them guess rather than me playing to the beat of their drum roll.
He plays not so bad for a rugby player.
Took us 4 tries to get Ola to say something that nice about Mike Tindall.
Action's been folded to Mike. He's got ace-10 again.
Oh yeah, sigh it up, boss hog. You're mashing.
He raises.
Sorry, Mike. I'm all in.
Vicky with ace-king.
I'm going to call her.
You call?
On an impulse, I'm going to call her.
Is that a call? Yeah?
Yeah.
Mike is actually in big trouble here. Yes.
Vicky set to double up again. But there's a 10.
Right in the door.
With 2 clubs, 8 of clubs, 3 of spades, 10
Sorry,
of clubs.
Vic.
Mike's flopped a pair of 10s. Andy has the ace
There's
of
a long way
clubs.
to go.
Yeah, true that.
Vicky looking for a king on the river.
Not such a long way to go now.
Got back here again.
Just 3 outs. She's out.
So let's have a big round of applause for Vicky, everyone.
Nice hand. Good luck. Good luck.
Unlucky, Vicky. You played great.
Oh, nice playing with you. Oh, have fun.
Yeah, good game.
It'll be nice and quiet without me.
Please no.
Vicky almost made an incredible comeback, but finally fell short.
That was nearly an amazing story. I was down to 1.5 big blinds, and I fought back to get myself in a situation where I'm in a 2.5 million point pot with ace-king against ace-10, which ought to be an easy pot to win, and then I like my chances to win the event. Unfortunately, the 10 came, it happens. This is not a risk-free enterprise, so it's not an amazing story. But it's a story I'll be telling everyone, don't worry about that.
Fancy your chances of winning a slice of $1 million? You could qualify for the 2nd series of Shark Cage at PokerStars.com. We're now 3-handed at the PokerStars.com Shark Cage final table, and that means the Shark Cage is no longer in play. Surprisingly, no one's had the pleasure of visiting the cage in the final. We decided to ask the players why.
Pretty easy. $1 million is why.
It's a winner-take-all event. It's a huge amount of money. I think the massive gap between $1 million and nothing might mean people don't bluff that much.
The cards that have been dealt haven't really created many situations where, the Shark Cage is really going to come into play. There just weren't a lot of spots that were advantageous for people to really go for it.
Make the cage more attractive to put people in. Sharks swimming around it. That would be fun.
This final's been like my poker playing career. No visits to the cage.
Blinds are now 40-80 with a 20k ante. Ola raises the button with ace-6. Mike with ace-9 suited.
Bossing it again.
A re-raise from Mike.
405.
Griffin's folded the big blind. Action back on Ola.
All in.
He shoves.
It just got interesting.
I think that's from the one where they play on Shark Cage. Guy's got a call.
I'm gonna call.
He does call.
I'm behind.
And at risk.
Ola's about to get swag whacked. Right in the swag'em.
There's a 64% chance he's eliminated here.
Good luck, man.
The flop. It's 10-8 deuce. Mike's still ahead and now a 73% favorite.
A6 not drawing dead yet.
10 of hearts.
Boom!
What?
Ole's looking for a 6.
And
or
all the
any
ways to
heart.
get beat. Runners, flush runners, I'd be devoed.
Okay. What I don't want to see now is an ace. One card. Everything else is fine.
Yeah.
I fold an ace. That's one spot, I'll tell you.
Can you get
River
4
card.
hearts in a row?
It is allowed, but it doesn't happen this time.
Let's have a round of applause for Ole.
game.
Thanks.
He's going to come in
Good
third
game, good luck,
place
good luck.
at our Shark Cage final table.
What's third place pay?
Nothing.
Ola Schemion, owned by Mike Tindall.
I had like a huge chip lead, and then I just can't win any pots, and yeah, the momentum is gone. But that's how it goes sometimes. I would want to win Mike. As a person, I think he's a nice guy, but he's playing against like a more experienced player.
So, we're now heads up and playing for $1 million or nothing. Our former England rugby captain Mike Tindall and Canadian pro Griffin Benger.
Hey, best of luck, mate. Being on it. I'm feeling confident. I'm chip leader. I've played pretty well, but Griffin's experience will favour him.
I have a lot of experience playing heads up, but I'm not a very exceptional heads up player. Mike's been playing really, really well. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
I'm just still going to try and play aggressive.
I'm just gonna try to take it like every other heads up.
I'm sort of going to try and get after him.
We're playing for a lot of money. Such a huge discrepancy between like $1 million and then like carry the 2-0.
It's a strange feeling to be 1 away from winning $1 million, but you might as well still be 7 away unless you win it.
It's just so brutal.
It's only brutal if you lose.
So Mike with the chip advantage. Blinds 40,000, 80,000 with a 20,000 ante. Griffin on the button in the small blind calls and Mike checks his option. Griffin with 8-9, Mike with 8-6.
Griffin letting Mike get a cheap flop. All right.
Both players miss the flop.
You know, each of these guys played the online qualifier heads up to win their heats. I would say as far as experience goes, Mike's probably right around that same level, poker-wise. But now it's for $1 million, and the guy's used to performing under pressure.
Mike leads the flop for 100,000.
Don't really see Griffin calling this.
Griffin's not calling, he's raising. He rebluffs 275,000.
Yeah, and Mike really shouldn't be calling this either. What?
Yeah, he's not done with the hand. He calls. We're going to the turn.
He must have some kind of plan.
Well, here's his plan. Bet again on the turn. A small bet, 175,000.
Yeah, this is totally unorthodox. Griffin might interpret a bet here as something super strong that's not folding, but this bet is for like $1. It's like someone betting you $1 they can fly. You go, prove it. And let's make it $1 million.
Griffin raised Mike on the flop. And it looks like he's raising him on the turn, 550,000 total.
Prove it. And let's make it 550,000.
You got a better hand than I have then.
Mike
Fair
folds,
play.
Griffin takes the pot.
Griffin bluffing with the best hand.
Good hand, sir. Good hand.
Griffin's no stranger to competition either, although it's a different kind.
I guess my biggest accomplishment in online tournament poker was becoming #1 in the world on officialpokerranking.com. Before poker, I used to be a professional Counter-Strike player. My first roommate was someone who I met through Counter-Strike, and he'd already been playing a bit of poker, and then he kind of took me under his wing and taught me. I just started really, really small in cash games, and eventually I discovered tournaments. Poker is constantly changing and constantly evolving, and there's so many different disciplines. You know, it's constantly in your head. I want people to see me accomplish my dreams, and that's kind of why I'm here, and that's why I love playing tournament poker.
Poor guy had to quit his dream job of being a professional video game player to get the real job of being a professional poker player. Man, reality bites.
Blinds are up again. Mike's on the button with Queen Jack. He raises to 275,000. Griffin with a queen, Queen 8. And he calls.
This is a hand Mike's pretty much always supposed to win, but we'll see if Griffin's experience can give him an edge.
Interesting flop. Top pair for Mike, second pair for Griffin.
Tough for Griffin to work his edge when Mike flops a very good top pair.
Action goes check, check. 5 on the turn. Mike now a 95% favorite.
Poor Griffin's gonna take a stab at this a lot when Mike doesn't bet the flop.
There he goes, 225K.
At first I thought Mike might be doing the classic side call, but I think that's just what it sounds like when air passes through that dogleg in his nose. I think the Thames runs straighter.
Mike raises 605,000.
Even though I love that Mike Tindall is bossing it like Mother Brain, this is the kind of raise that is going to get a lot of worse hands to fold and better ones to call. Especially if you're playing against very excellent players like Griffin Benger. Although sometimes the pros do get confused by the wild card with the loud nose.
10 seconds on the clock. And Griffin folds. Mike back up over 5 million.
I really want to know what you had there. You tell me what you had, I'll tell you what I had.
I can't possibly do that.
You can't possibly do that?
No.
I won't lie, I promise.
Neither would I.
Yeah.
But then you'd probably be ahead.
Oh man, now he's chat bossing it too. It's almost not even fair.
He's someone who's got this, you know, like, very imposing figure and, like, someone who's plays probably the toughest sport in the world.
If people stare me down, I'll stare at them back, and most of the time I'll be a little bit bigger than them and look a little bit meaner than them, and I'll try and use that to the best of my abilities.
I'm certainly not going to be staring down Mike Tindall anytime soon.
I don't keep the bent nose for no reason, you know?
I think Mike's less likely to be offended by jokes about his nose than he is by the fact that we covered his feature with dubstep. Ah, come on, guys, we have a reputation.
Apparently all the young people are dancing to it. Griffin limps with ace-9. Mike checks his option with 9-10 and flops an open-ended straight draw. Ace-9 still ahead for now, though.
Griffin is limping with so many hands, which only works if your opponent doesn't constantly outflop you. Mike did outflop Griffin, but he's not folding to a bet either.
Here comes the bet from Griffin. 110,000. Mike calls.
I thought maybe he was going to put in another raise.
The turn card is the 7 of clubs, so Griffin picks up a flush draw and is still ahead with ace high.
I'm shocked that wasn't an 8.
Griffin firing again. 275,000.
Oh, maybe it's finally Mike's turn to have to call, and then fold on a brick.
Mike calls. We go to the river with more than $1 million in the pot. It's the 4 of clubs. That's a flush for Griffin.
And it's a big brick for Mike. I think Mike's body language is pretty clearly saying he does not like his hand.
He's got 10 seconds to make a decision. 5 seconds. He checks.
I really don't know what Griffin will do here. Seems like a spot to just take a showdown.
Looks like he's going for value. 400,000.
Sometimes he'll get called by worse.
Not this time.
Did that all wrong.
Do you think Mike Tindall's watching this show? Because if so, I think he played it great.
Well, after that hand, they are almost level. Mike with a small chip advantage over Griffin. Griffin with a big hand, pocket tens.
Really big hand.
He raises to 210,000. And talking of big hands, Mike's got ace-jack.
Oh boy, this could be it. It should be it. It should all be going in here.
Here comes a re-raise. Mike 3-bets to 735,000.
Griffin cannot fold tens. And he probably wants to see all 5 cards.
I'm all in.
He shoves.
Mike's got to worry about possibly being dominated.
Shall we go? Shall we go? Yeah, let's go.
He calls!
This is huge and potentially for $1 million.
So, Mike and Griffin are about to be dealt the 5 most important cards of their lives.
Got a coin flip to win $1 million. So.
I mean, whoever really does that?
How do you think the cards will fall? Tag your tweets, Shark Cage. Here at the PokerStars.com Shark Cage final table, it's time for the ultimate race. Mike Tindall has 2 overcards. Griffin Benger has a pocket pair, and there's $1 million on the line.
Griffin's got fewer chips, so if tens don't hold, this is going to be all over.
Good luck, mate.
Good luck.
Griffin is the at-risk player.
It's just
He's in the
flip
lead
for $1
with
million,
tens.
you know.
Yeah.
Flip for $1 million.
Someone just get a coin in. I call heads.
One of these 2 hands has a slight mathematical advantage, actually.
That'll be the tens, which are an even bigger favorite now after the flop.
Sweet flop for tens.
He's in the lead.
The turn card is the deuce of hearts.
Super sweet turn for tens.
That's
Griffin set for a big double up here.
It looks like he is astral projecting right now.
Mike will be crippled.
how fast your heart going right now?
Pretty fast.
If there's an ace or a jack on the river, it's all over. Any other card, we play on.
No.
It's the king of diamonds.
Griffin is now the monster chip leader.
Did you panic for a little while when that card came
Yeah,
out?
I was paintish. Like,
Oh well. I think I might have 1 chip left.
All it takes is a chip and a...
Seat.
I saw Vicky Koren come back from nothing to almost.
Almost what? She's out, and you're still in.
Dagnammit.
Doesn't matter how slow you guys roll out those cards, it still feels like it's just all happening kind of at once.
I always thought it was going to be a flip. Yeah, he had pocket tens, but I had 2 live cards, and I'm not in a bad spot.
It was obviously a huge moment to hold there and take a commanding chip lead.
I sort of trusted my gut on it. You just need to get a little bit lucky, and I didn't do that. It was tough.
His gut's been working for him. I think he's been playing fine.
Yeah, but right now his chances of winning the $1 million are looking pretty slim.
Steal 2 dream hands, but me the better one, please.
Blinds are up again. 61, 20, 30. Pocket threes for Mike.
Go on then. There we are.
He's all in. And Griffin calls. With ace-jack, it's another race.
I'm ahead.
Again, potentially for $1 million.
Yours held up, can mine hold up?
If Griffin wins this, he's the champion. Threes are holding on the flop.
But the bad news is Griffin's got more outs.
10 of them. A queen on the turn.
Turn is a queen of spades.
What a card.
More outs.
Aces, kings, jacks, tens, fours. All working for Griffin.
No, what, dodge everything?
Go on, Mike, this is yours.
Online qualifier, Gareth on the rail.
It's a 5 of clubs, and Mike is going to double up with his threes.
Mike survives.
Yes, the threes. They never let you down. Trusty threes.
Well played, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
Doesn't even dent you.
Griffin still has a 10-1 chip lead over Mike.
Mike is gonna need a couple more of those.
It's very clear that Gareth is supporting the rugby legend right now. Ace deuce for Mike. He's all in again.
Go on, Mike.
How much is it total?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to do anything else, am I, really?
What's Griffin got? Come on!
King 8.
You hate calling with this hand, but you probably have to.
I call.
Here we go again.
Another flippy type situation. This time Mike's got the best of it.
Roughly a 6-4 favorite. But if Griffin hits a king or an 8, it's over and he wins $1 million. Ace high holding.
Griffin, more like whiffin', am I right? Sorry, Griff.
All praise the ace.
Pretty good hand heads up. Guy knows his stuff.
The turn card is a 4. Griffin still looking for a king or an 8. 6 cards for victory.
Let's have a 3 on the end.
Greedy.
Is this gonna be it? The river is a 10. Mike doubles up again.
Go on, Mike. Come on, Mike.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Gareth knows we're indoors, right?
Griffin's starting to look a little concerned.
Vicky Koren's comeback made me very insecure. And because Vicky came back from like that one chip, you start to worry, you lose, and then, you know, suddenly it's just like he's back in the game.
It's a 5 of clubs, and Mike is going to double up with his threes.
There's no point in being down about it. There's no reason why you can't just double up, double up, double up. Yours held up, can mine hold up?
It's really, really hard to have perspective when you're playing heads up for $1 million and you don't get anything for second place. The guy's obviously a winner, and it's why he's a professional athlete.
You just don't give in. You know, I don't like losing, plain and simple. You don't get anywhere in sport if you like losing.
Being from Toronto, Griffin is no stranger to sports teams that seem to love losing.
Oh, come on. The Blue Jays aren't that bad at the moment.
At the moment.
Big hand for Mike. Ace-queen suited.
Huge hand heads up. Huge.
Cool.
What?
He's limping.
80.
Ah, you gotta raise. Don't let him get a cheap flop.
Griffin checks his option. And what a flop. 2 pair for Griffin, 2 overs, and the nut flush draw for Mike.
Well, even if Mike raises, flop was still coming down.
Check, check on the flop. 7 of spades on the turn. Griffin, a 4-1 favorite.
A bet now would be for value and protection.
225,000.
I'll go all in.
A shove!
I call.
And a call!
Has he hit a 7?
Just 2 pair, homie. Just 2 pair.
I think you've taken it.
This could be it again. Griffin Benger on the verge of victory.
It's a good chance of a heart.
Mike has 8 outs.
Good chance of you dealing me a heart.
I have to check my figures. Oh, 18%.
it's red.
It's a deuce
It's
of
a
hearts.
heart!
And Mike is going to double up.
Sorry, pal. Sorry, pal.
We play on!
Thank you, my darling.
This guy misses less often than SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, even I'm sorry about that.
Another double up for Mike Tindall.
Griffin looks sadder than he did the day Joe Carter retired.
3 times now, he's been in sniffing distance of $1 million.
I can smell it from here.
Griffin on the button, in the small blind, first to speak. Aces! And he just calls.
He checks his option.
Does anyone raise anymore? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Mike has paired his 5 on the flop.
Oh, well, then.
He shoves!
I call.
Griffin calls!
Call over E10.
Didn't have to.
Oh, I'm dead. I didn't expect you to have that. Oh, well.
Griffin too nervous to even respond.
An 80% favorite here.
Well, I didn't expect you to have that.
He can't speak.
Mike does have outs.
That's annoying, isn't it? What can I have? Runners? 3 and an ace would do me.
Or just a 5, or a deuce.
The turn is a 7. Griffin's 1 card away from victory.
Mike's going to need a deuce or a 5 in order to double
fair
through
play.
here.
Lose
Or
to
we're going to have
pockets.
our $1 million winner.
5 outs for Mike.
That's your ideal hand for that one.
Wish he had ace-5.
Oh, yeah.
So much nervous laughter. So much on the line.
Is this the moment we crown our first ever Shark Cage champion? The river card? It's a king! Griffin's done
Pleasure, buddy.
It's a round of
Griffin
applause.
Benger wins $1 million!
And it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy or better poker player. We love this kid.
It's the ultimate cliche, but it doesn't really feel like real right now. It was just a lot of fun, and I'm just grateful.
This has just been a great experience for me. I was so happy to have got there and to be playing with the quality that was at the table.
I think Mike played great. I think it's tough when you lose that huge all-in for everything.
Got a coin flip to win $1 million, so I lost that coin flip. Unfortunately, that's poker, innit?
So, Griffin Benger is the inaugural PokerStars.com Shark Cage champion, taking home the trophy and the $1 million first prize.
It would mean the world to me to win the Shark Cage. I'm someone that needs to be taken seriously.
There's the bet. And he does put out the bluff card.
Nicole.
Going to the cage.
I miss you guys so much, it hurts. Every show needs a villain.
Going to London to play for $1 million, it is great, but there's only one of us going to be able to do it.
You raised? Raised?
This is, why we all play, and this is why I came to play the Shark Cage. Poker's been a big gift for me in my life. I think that that's really the right attitude to have when you have something like this. I feel very, very blessed.